sick of people at ESPN or SportsCenter who think they got their heads on their shoulders, but they really don't? Well, it's time for the Jimmy the K Sports Show. We're going to small town throwdown with the latest sports news. Now it's time for Jimmy the K. We're live, unedited, and giving it to you now. Here we go, boys. How y'all doing today? I am the man, the best show on the web for your sports information, the Jimmy the K Sports Show. I am glad that you are live with us tonight, Saturday, November 7th, or 8th, or 9th, or 10th, or whatever today is. You know, it's a day. It's a day. It's a great day to be alive. See? That's why I am a sports host and not a musician, because I cannot sing worth a crap. What kind of sports news have we had? First off, I want to apologize for the show not airing last week. Things coming up. You know, there's some things kind of being ironed out here to better appreciate the show, better equate the show to the people out there, to the people in the world, so to speak. But while we're working on that, sometimes it takes up our Saturday, sometimes it takes up our Sunday, sometimes it takes up the whole week. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at some of the sports news that have happened over the last couple of weeks. The biggest thing in the baseball world was the fact that the Chicago Cubs hired Joe Maddon as their manager. But there's lots and lots of speculation out there right now. And even as this happened, that the Tampa Bay Devil Rays were going to look at possible tampering rules in Major League Baseball. You cannot tamper with another team's manager within so much amount of time of the World Series. There's rules there. And Tampa Bay has stated that they will go to the full extent of Major League Baseball to possibly see if there was tampering. Now that he was hired, there's really nothing that can be done. They can probably sanction the Cubs. They can probably punish them some way, shape, or form. But more than likely, it'd be a slap on the hand if anything got done. Is this a good hire for the Chicago Cubs? Definitely. For a team that has not seen a World Series since 1907, or World Series victory since 1907, this is a very good hire for the Chicago Cubs. This is a hire that could get them above and beyond the hurdles, so to speak. Having a manager like Joe Maddon could also help them out in the free agent market. Do they have a little bit more money to spend? Do they have a little bit more leeway, with Andrew Friedman? The big, or Theo Epstein, excuse me. The big question is, are they going to go after a big name like Russell Martin in the catcher atmosphere? Speculation as of today was that the Chicago Cubs have already met with Russell Martin. He did turn down his qualifying offer. He does not, however, have the opportunity to sign with the team until that window's over with. The window's not quite over with. As of Monday, you'll have the GM meetings. A lot of things will be going on. Teams will be discussing trades, possible scenarios, players. There will quite possibly be trades made. But, the general manager meetings is where a lot of the balls get rolling, so to speak. It may not happen this week. It may happen a month from now. It may happen around Christmas time, because a lot of teams feel like, their present to the team is a big-time player, a big-time signee, a big-time trade, big-time, whatever that may be. Also, during the winter meetings that will take place in the first week or second week in December. I believe it's December 7th or 11th, something like that, somewhere in there. a lot of trades, free agent signings will be discussed, and that the balls will start continuing to roll even more then. But until then, you're going to be hearing a lot of rumors. Will players really sign real soon? I doubt it. The biggest headline right now is that Chris Young has stated that he will resign with the New York Yankees as an outfielder. He was happy there. And he's ready to lock and load there. Next, the Rangers have actually announced their 2015 Major League coaching staff. And I have to give props off to my boy Joe Siegler over at the Texas Rangers fan page. Sometimes I'll pick off a page and put it to the All About Sports Zone page, and I'm going to give them props because they deserve props, and I deserve to give credit where credit is due, and credit is due to those boys over there. Thank you very much for this information, and I'll go ahead. If you follow the Texas Rangers fan page, or if you don't, if you're a Ranger fan, it's very simple. You just go to Facebook.com, and then in your search engine, put in Texas Ranger fans, and I believe they're the first one that pops up. Or if you're a friend of mine, I can also add you to that page. But those guys do a lot of good work over there. As news comes out, you're also, as a fan, able to post to the page, which is also gives the fans interaction with the page, and I give props to them for doing that. And I would definitely love to do something like that with this page eventually, because I want you, the fans, to also have interaction. And when I'm not able to post, I would definitely like for you to be able to post your sports news. I know I've got a couple of new followers over on the Facebook page, and I don't know where they're from. It looks like from Facebook it shows that they're from Korea. Honestly, I do not know Korean. I would love to learn someday, and definitely like this post, and shoot me a Facebook message in Korean, so to speak. I would definitely love to learn a different language in Korean. It's definitely something that would be neat. I believe that's where they're from. I could totally be wrong. I would definitely check again. But either way, it's over there on the other side of the country. I feel kind of privileged because I have fans on the other side of the country watching me. Probably with an interpreter. I can't be 100% sure, but I thank you two new gentlemen for liking the page. And again, like I said, I want to give props to the Texas Rangers fan page, Joe Siegler, for posting this, and I'm definitely going to give credit where credit is due. But if you're not part of the fan page, I'm going to definitely tell you who the 2015 Major League coaching staff is for the Texas Rangers as of right now is. You have Mike Maddox coming back, Dave Magadan coming back as hitting coach, Hawkins back, Jones is back. You got three others promoted to player development. Third base coach will definitely still be determined. We're still in the beginning stages of that. The new additions are bench coach Steve Buechele. I can't quite do that the way Chuck Morgan does it. You'll have first base coach and catching instructor Hector Ortiz. Benji Molina hasn't moved on, but apparently he's taken another job in the organization from what I've heard. That's the rumor, is he's taken another job in the organization, did not want to be where he was in the organization or under the new manager for the Texas Rangers, Jeff Bannister. And Major League Field coordinator Jace Tingler. Buechele, this will be his first Major League coaching stint. He spent several years in the minor league system perfecting his craft, as a manager. A former Texas Ranger himself will be able to work with the infielders to help them gain momentum and help them be a better core group and help them out in their fielding. And, Magadan comes back for his last year on the contract, and Hawkins and Jones return. But third base is yet to be determined. That's something that's still out there. So with that being said, I give props to Joe Siegler over at the Texas Rangers fans page. Thank you so very much. And again, like I said, I'm stealing that. I definitely would love to get Joe or any of those Texas Ranger fan guys on the show. I know there's other sites. I know Google Plus or Google Play or one of those has a feature to where you can do live shows similar to this, and have another person chatting with you. That would definitely be something for the future, and something we can look into, to where you, the fans, can have the opportunity to interact with me and be part of the show as well. Oklahoma City Thunder have had nothing but problems on the injury front. They were down to 7 players at one point, and they just signed Ish Smith to a deal to play for them. But the biggest injury that had happened in the last 2 weeks was Russell Westbrook broke his hand. He's out for 4 to 6 weeks. And with him being out 4 to 6 weeks, that hurts the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are now 1-6. They've been fighting, clawing their way to try to win games. And they've been playing quite well, with the exception of one game that was a blowout. So it's going to be a rough first couple of months for the Oklahoma City Thunder. But could they still come back and make the playoffs? I think they could, but it's going to be a long shot. The West is full of very talented teams. The Houston Rockets, believe it or not, are undefeated. They're a team that could very well run away or run the table in the West this year. So it's going to be a long haul for the Thunder to make the playoffs. But can they? Yes. Will they? We'll have to see. Lots of injuries can happen day in and day out in a sport like basketball or baseball. Every day we know as sport athletes know that any given day they could wind up hurt. They could wind up seriously injured. But most athletes don't think of it as, it's the off season. I was pretty healthy all year long. I'm going to go home and I'm going to die in a car accident. Oscar Taveras of the St. Louis Cardinals passed away about 2 weeks ago in a car accident. Him and his girlfriend both passing away when they were killed. Our hats go off and our prayers go to the Taveras family. Not only with the Taveras family, with the St. Louis Cardinals, who are going to have to cope with losing a player who was so young and vibrant, a young player that was up and coming, and a team that St. Louis saw great potential in. So with that being said, our thoughts and prayers go to the St. Louis Cardinals and the Taveras family. And, we hope and pray nothing ever happens like that to any other athletes, but honestly, a sport's a sport, but sometimes you just can't handle what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, stuff like that. Um, you know, on the football front, I got a question for you. Is Brandon Weeden the answer to the Cowboys' backup woes? Or should the Dallas Cowboys seriously consider drafting a quarterback after this year? Lots of speculation came out, and I believe Jerry Jones even admitted it uh, about a month after the draft that Jerry Jones wanted to draft Johnny Manziel, but his son Steven said no, we're not going to do that. We need an offensive lineman to complement our running game, keep Romo off of his back, his butt, his back end. They got that player. The run game has increased. But Romo went out, a couple of weeks ago, and Weeden was inserted, played well. They put Romo back in, lost that game. Weeden comes out last week against the Arizona Cardinals, doesn't play very well. He has a full week to practice with the first string receivers, with the first teamers. And from my understanding, he's been doing that all year. If you've been doing that all year, then you should have chemistry with your receivers, with your running backs, with your offensive line, with everyone else. But he did not have that chemistry. So my question to you, as the Jimmy the K sports fans, is should the Cowboys draft a quarterback this coming off season? If so, let's drop some names. What are some names out there that you'd like to see Jerry Jones draft? That's my question to you for next week. You answer that question, you could be live, or not live, but you could also be part of the show with me answering your question live. So stay tuned for those answers. Okay. Wow. Two good things happening on the Ranger front, and I'll start with the best thing first. Michael Young accepted a role in the Texas Rangers organization as a special assistant to the general manager. Basically, he's going to be the guy going to the winter meetings, player development meetings, spring training to help the infielders, the players, to help with a team that hasn't had that voice since Nolan Ryan left. He'll be able to be John Daniels' ears in the meetings, be able to lend his voice as to which player is a good teammate or a good fit for the Texas Rangers organization, and also help in those aspects of coaching those younger players. Michael Young even stated in his press conference that a year away from baseball was very contagious for him. When you're a baseball lifer, so to speak, you've got it in your blood. You say, "Hey, I want to spend a year away from the game to spend more time with the family. Yes, you might spend more time with the family, but you're always, flipping back to the baseball games. You're always analyzing the games. You're always, you know, wanting to be part of the game. And with this, Michael Young said that was happening with him. He just was not able to be that far away from the game. What other good news happened on the Ranger front? I'll tell you another good thing that happened on the Rangers front. Former Ranger Alfonso Soriano retired. It's about time. I think it was 40, 41, 42, somewhere in there. His legs were about ready to give out on him. His brain was about ready to give out on him. His back definitely gave out on him about 2 or 3 years ago. So that's good news for the Rangers. And good news for baseball in general. Alfonso Soriano was definitely that teammate that you wanted to be around because he was a baseball lifer. He's one of those guys that has the potential to come back as a manager someday or a hitting coach. Now, something has been coming up in the news recently, and I discussed this a month or so back about the San Antonio area quite possibly getting the Oakland Raiders as a football team. I said it was a long shot then. I still think it's a long shot now. But do I think it could happen? Yes. I still think it's a long shot, though, even though the owner has had several meetings. From what my understanding from my sources are, that the owner of the Oakland Athletics has not only had the one meeting that people know about, but he's also had 2 or 3 other secret meetings with the city of San Antonio to quite possibly get them in the San Antonio area. Or at least 3 football teams for the Texas area. Weird, huh? Very weird. But it would bring a lot of revenue to the San Antonio area. Again, do I think it could happen? Yes, I think it could happen, but I still think it's a long shot. But, my arrow's pointing, at one point it was like 75 to 25 that they'd stay in Oakland. Right now, my arrow's kind of leaning 60-40 that they'll stay in Oakland because of these meetings, supposedly, these secret meetings from my sources that supposedly the Oakland Athletics owner has had with the San Antonio, the city of San Antonio. So with that being said, from 75 to 25 to 60 to 40, if I keep getting words that these secret meetings are coming up with the San Antonio, the city of San Antonio, and the ball continues to roll, then it could very well wind up in San Antonio. But we'll wait and see. I asked a question earlier today on Facebook to the sports fans out there that like the page. Would the Rangers consider signing Pablo Sandoval to play third base and slide Adrian Beltre to the DH spot? I had a couple of likes to the page. And I had a clear note from a good fan of ours, Nick Shoemake. How about pronouncing your last name right? Hopefully I am. If not, forgive me. But I believe that's how you pronounce it. Um, he said no, and I definitely agree with him. I don't see that as happening. I just wanted to put that question out there. I know Pablo Sandoval's looking for at least a 6-year deal. It's probably going to wind up over $100 million. So, no, I don't see them signing Pablo Sandoval and sliding Adrian Beltre to the DH spot because, they've got too much other talent in the farm system that they could slide into that spot, move him to DH. But with him winning the Gold Glove for the team this year, I don't see that happening. Even at his age, his batting average continues to be elite with a lot of the other players. And Pablo Sandoval would come not only with that, but would come with a price to pay. So, with that being said, that's this Saturday's Jimmy the K Sports Show. 2 questions for you to ponder this week. And I'm going to add them. I'm going to put them on the All About Sports Zone page. My first question for you is the Cowboy question. Do the Cowboys draft a quarterback in the coming off season? If so, list names of possible quarterbacks that they would draft in the off season. And the second question I'm going to ask the fans out there is a 2-part question with a two-team aspect to it. I want to know, if you were the general manager of the Houston Astros, who would you sign as a starting pitcher, free agent, or trade? If it was a trade, who would you include in the trade? For whom? And if you were the general manager for the Texas Rangers, who would you sign as a free agent pitcher or trade for? And who would you trade and for whom? Those are your 2 questions for the, actually they're 3 questions for the week. And I'm going to post those to Facebook. They're going to be up all week. As you answer those questions, I will answer them next week live on the show. With that being said, I want to go over the final scores of college football. I've been going over the last previous weeks of college football scores, but then, even going over the ones that have started at halftime, etc. But from now on, what I'm going to do, to be fair, is only go over the games that have ended. The other games, well, sorry, you're not important to me. No, I'm kidding. But with that being said, 34-20, Clemson over Wake Forest. Wisconsin 34-16 over Purdue. West Virginia losing to Texas 33-16. Georgia Tech 56-23. Georgia 63, Kentucky 31, Duke 27, Syracuse 10. You have Presbyterian getting spanked by Ole Miss 48-0. You have Baylor murdering Oklahoma and Norman 48-14. You have Texas A&M beating Auburn barely, believe it or not, 41-38. You have Arizona State beating Notre Dame 55-31. And University of Tennessee Martin losing to number 1 Michigan State 45-16. That's this week's college football scores. And with that being said, remember, you too can be part of the show. How can you be part of the show? Remember that you can be part of the show by answering my 3 simple questions on Facebook. I will post those to Facebook and to Twitter so that my international followers, if they're following me from Twitter, can follow me there and answer there. I will also add those questions to Google+. I will also add those questions to my All About Sports Zone Facebook page. So that's a way you can be part of the shows by answering our questions. Then I will insert your answers to the show, and you will too be part of the show. You can also do 3 simple things to follow the show. If you like the show, want to follow the show, 3 simple steps. You can go to Facebook, go to your search engine, type in All About Sports Zone. You'll find me there, like the page. You can also go to Twitter at Jimmy Kersey1. That's JIMMY KERSEY 1. That's all together. Or you can email me at allaboutsportszone@gmail.com. And until next Saturday, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, I am Jimmy the K. This is the Jimmy the K Sports Show. You've watched the best sports show on the web. Until next week, peace out.